Hello, my friends. This is Ugly Season 2, a Mexican TV show that is focused on a musician who is called Ugly. So his nickname is the title of this TV show, but with V at the beginning. So let's talk about what this character is and what happened to him in Season 1. Basically, he got 3 bullets because he ran into some bad guy who is also a rapper, musician, and basically jealousy and growing career of this guy Ugly. Basically, this dude got jealous because of Ugly's growing career, to be more precise. And he basically put him into a hospital. And in Season 2, while Ugly is still in the hospital, basically his crew consists of his girlfriend and his manager and some other friends. They basically arrived to this hospital to basically get him out of there. And as it turns out, there is no way they can get out of him. They can get him out of the hospital like normally, because everybody outside just, waiting. A lot of bad guys wanted him dead. And to get him out of this hospital, they found the only way is stage his death, basically. And to get it done, they actually just, faking his death and taking him out of this hospital. So basically, this TV show is like comedy genre. Mostly it's a comedy, but it's reflecting on many aspects of how difficult to break to the top of the, music, of the highest music level, the top of the highest music level in Mexico, and the top artists of Latin music is what they are trying to get. And they are trying basically to reach popularity or something, but not this way, because now after Ugly, the main character, staged his death, he became viral just because people came basically to mourn Ugly, and this way basically he made everyone just notice him. But it wasn't his initial it wasn't planned to go viral, because they only wanted to get bad guys out of his shoulders. And they basically caused a lot of buzz and a lot of people came. So now he needs basically to prove that he is actually dead. But at the same time, while this fake funeral going on, a lot of people gathering, and basically at this moment other artists also came to mourn and to offer their condolences. But they used this basically fake funeral to their advantage. And basically this TV show just showcasing how selfish musician can be, or the industry is just about getting advantage of any opportunity, even when it comes to someone's funeral, even fake funeral. But this TV show basically mocking perfectly the industry, the music industry itself, not only Latin industry, but the whole industry. and it's actually just referring to many artists, real artists in this TV show. You will get to hear some pretty big names. So, and they are managing basically to, the people who arrived at his fake funeral, they were basically, not aware of that he is not dead, actually, and he is just right next to them at home, just, comfortably sitting. And he accidentally liked a photo or a video. He liked this post of his fake funeral. So basically he exposed himself, or he made it suspicious that somebody just liked it on his behalf. And basically another musician who was at this fake funeral, he noticed that somebody liked this post, and he knows that nobody on Ugly's social media. So that means that Ugly and his crew basically playing everybody, because he basically opened it and there is nobody inside. I mean, like, at this point, just all the bad guys who were at that funeral, they went crazy because they realized that he played them, and now they want another revenge. And while Ugly, he was basically able to escape all those bad guys, he also managed to put the main villain, the main rival of him, the main rival of Ugly's was this guy. And basically this guy was the main rival in season 1 of Ugly TV show. And he managed to put him behind a bar. He managed to put him into a jail because he basically turned him in, and basically he proved that he was involved in attack on Ugly, which led to his death. But he is not dead actually, but police is not going to, after this fake funeral, because that fake funeral only was supposed to deceive bad guys and his rivals, not police. And while he managed to get his main rival, Savicious, into jail, it looks like there is no threat, no problem anymore for him. But at this point, he's going to focus on music and solely on his career. So basically in season 1, the whole season was focused on this guy Ugly and his crew trying to basically come up with some quality music, but it's not like they were able to, get on the top of the industry, because on the top of the industry, some other people, for example, there is some character called El Capo, and in season 2, this is a new character apparently. I don't remember season 1 a lot, but I know that this guy is just some big fish in this industry, and while he was at some reality show, he basically was promoting his new album, and at that basically questionnaire, he told some weird stuff. He answered and called a transgender woman a guy. Basically he told her a dude. He called her a dude. And that made him basically look like a, fool, because he basically spoiled the moment before his album even dropped, But this whole moment is just perfect, mocking of reality shows, or just, it's just perfectly mocking the moment itself, because something in real life, of course, happening as well with not just with celebrities, but with regular people, and the just moment itself so funny, But right after that, basically, Vgly and his team, they basically noticed how, like, this artist Capo, and how his career is basically more successful due to him having all the access to, studio, professional recording, and basically they wanted to get on his listening party. Listening party is an event at which an artist basically introducing his new album, his new music, his new records, and they wanted to get to that party, but the only way they can get to that party by using Ugly's girlfriend, because she is a big artist herself. And in season 1, Ugly was pursuing this woman, and once he got together with her, he basically got some more exposure because of her name. But at this point, basically, she is going to get him to that party, but it's not that easy, because nobody has actually a privilege like +1 or something, and all the artists just, they have to go by themselves without any extra. And the person who is in charge of the label, which is throwing that party, is this woman. She is basically kind of ruling with, ruling this whole label, and the label, which is gonna be the main goal of Ugly's, because he is going to sign with that label. So this is why he is going to that party, and he wants basically to give his demo to that woman, for her to basically to listen it and to consider him, to be signed as a member of this label. But his girlfriend basically wasn't able to get +1 for Ugly. She wasn't able to get them to that party, and they basically used another opportunity in form of other artists who kind of at the same level as Ugly is, because they are just some street level artists, like kind of outsiders with followers but with no big names, and they use them basically to get to that party, because these guys, they are working at that party but as waiters. They are not like big names, so they are there only to serve to celebrities. And in return, basically, Ugly and his manager, Bubble, this is his nickname, they basically promised to give them some pairs of, good shoes, kicks, and basically they stole those kicks and ran away. But this is not the main point. The main point is that they finally got to that party and as waiters, but they are already just there, and they're gonna use this opportunity basically to, to get the most influenced people in this industry, to basically give them some records to listen. And at this party, basically some big names, I don't know if they are like fiction or, if real persons like this, like the names that they mentioned probably exist in real life, but I'm not sure. So let's not talk about it. But they're mentioning a lot of big artists, and basically that was the listening party of this dude, Capo, the guy who basically called a transgender woman a guy. But turns out it wasn't really a problem, because he is here right now. He is basically introducing his music, but his career is not like, top tier career, because there are some people who is like way more popular than him, more famous artists. And finally, when Vgly managed to change his clothes, because looking as a waiter cannot impress any, director or nobody. So he changed, and basically he met this woman who turned out to be also a big artist, Antonia. And he is basically crashing parties, but she's also with some, big artists. She knows the industry. And this basically meeting means a lot for Vgly, because he is apparently going to use this new acquaintance of his in the future. But at the same time, he has his girlfriend, who is as well quite popular, quite famous in this industry. But I'm already pretty sure that he is going to hit on that woman to basically, get to the highest possible, level, to reach some artist that he is not able without basically that woman. So he is going to basically at some point either cheat on his girlfriend or just to get involved in some shit with this woman, basically. And while he was basically kind of flirting with her, he left her for the director of this label, to whom he is gonna give his records to listen. He is wanna basically to introduce his music, but he's getting rejected. And he even used this opportunity to mock that artist Capo. And he used some words that Capo basically told on that reality show, not about that transgender, but about the about the music, about his music itself. And in this TV show, basically you would like you would see basically multiple moments that like satire, but at the same time it's like so spot on because the moment like itself perfectly, showing the real like industry, how it works, but with through comedy, it's managing to show it less serious, and at the same time, they really introducing quality music. In this TV show, you would basically hear just really good, like, quality music that you would probably just listen to daily if it was actual album or something. So this TV show managed basically to produce not only good episodes, but they actually so focus on real music, like brand new music that they came up with for this TV show. And this is what I like about this like TV show Vgly, because they did basically 2 seasons and every episode introduces a new track, like new music, and every time you just watching it, and at the end of the episode you will hear some new track, and every time this track is gonna be just pretty good music. It's not like they just using random shit. They actually just recording professional music. So this is why I'm enjoying this TV show, not only because of the script itself. In this TV show, it's like secondary, because the main rivalry between musicians, Vgly and him got shot in season 1. That was the only big event probably. Other than that, there was a lot of like moments, a lot of just moments. They were not so important, but they were like kind of developing his character and taking him to this point, to this party. This is just the journey of one artist and his team, but you're gonna be ready for little action, but a lot of good music and interesting characters. So basically they were trying to get this woman who is in charge of a big label called Chaos. They were trying to get this person to listen to one of Vgly's tracks, and they basically they managed to throw this party to basically drag her attention, and they managed basically to get her to the kitchen to listen, and not only basically to listen to the track, but Vgly's manager managed to give her a demo. It's like raw version of your track or something like this. So the main basically goal of them going to that party that was reached, and now they are gonna either sign with that label or they're gonna go into some other guys to look for that, opportunity. But still, these 2 episodes of season 2, they were kind of focusing a lot on the music itself, on the industry, and how people just interacting within this, community. But at the same time, it has a lot of moments that you would enjoy because of just music itself, pretty good, and characters, they are still as interesting as they were in season 1. At the same time, it has romance, and the main romance in this TV show, of course, main character Vgly and his girlfriend Triana. But at the same time, he already got this new girlfriend, not girlfriend, but he basically met this new woman, this basically new friend of his. This new friend is gonna be probably a big part of this show, season 2 of Vgly. But we are looking forward to next episodes, and see you next time with another episode and more information on this TV show. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.